In God of War 1, everyone has seen this image of a warrior fighting Zeus, with the caption saying it is an image of the future. This painting was left undiscussed by the fans, thinking of it as just an Easter egg left by the developers. But turns out this painting isn't the only thing in the temple that references the future, and there are some strange things, like these 4 symbols, which can be seen in every corner of the temple. There are a lot of things that we are going to discuss in this video about Pandora's temple and the mystery surrounding Pathos Verdes III. Before we begin, keep in mind that Pandora's temple was built 1,000 years before the events of God of War 1, when the godly trio, Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades, came to Pathos Verdes III and commanded him to build a temple to house Pandora's box so that no mortal could reach it. And when the first mortal tried to do so, he was cursed to be the body burner, and Pathos Verdes gave his everything to please the gods and lost 2 of his sons and went insane. His wife tried to stop him, and he killed her, and then he killed himself in the end. First things first, let's talk about these 4 symbols. From the moment you enter the temple, you will see these symbols everywhere until the Cliffs of Madness. I tried searching online for them, and I looked everywhere and even asked in some Reddit servers. And in the end, I got to know that these 4 symbols don't really exist in the real world and are only in the game. And after spending the last 10 days on it, I couldn't come to a conclusion as to what they mean. But upon closer look, this symbol kinda looks like it resembles the claws of Hades, and this other symbol looks like the Hindi letter Nun. This is all I could come up with, and this doesn't look like it is going anywhere. So I leave these 4 symbols to you guys. Comment down below, what do you think of these symbols, and if you can crack the meaning behind them, and why did Pathos Verdes III leave them everywhere in the temple? If you do, then make sure to tell me your discovery by email, which you will find in the description and the pinned comment. Now, we get to another reference to the future inside the temple, which is in the Challenge of Atlas. Here we see a statue of Atlas, which is the reference to the future because Kratos imprisoned Atlas to hold the world on his shoulders just 5 years ago. So, the statue of Atlas being in a temple built 1,000 years ago doesn't make sense if he was chained in Tartarus during that time. And the statue could actually be the first thing built, since it is the first challenge inside of the temple too. Somehow, Pathos Verdes III knew that the Titan Atlas was going to end up holding the world on his shoulders. Now, to get the statue of Atlas to hold the globe, you need a lever. And the place you get the lever from, you can see these 4 Greek letters there on the wall. So I hit up my friend Atanas, who is Greek, and asked him what those letters mean. And he told me that they mean SCPF. I tried to think of all possibilities I could with those 4 letters, and I came up with Save Child, Punish Father, which kind of made sense in the context of Pandora being the child and Hephaestus being the father. But then I used ChatGPT to see if there are any other results in other languages, and I got these results. Italian, salvare corpo, punire fede, save body, punish faith. French, sauver créature, punir fils, save creature, punish son. Roman, sancta custodia Pandorae fili, sacred guardian of Pandora's child. But the last form of translation I could get out of it was salvation, conflict, prophecy, and fate, which, if it is true, could be another reference to the future, because after Kratos makes it out of the temple, he seeks salvation from his sins and wants to end it all. But he is saved by the gods. Then he gets into conflicts with the gods of Olympus, one by one, And then Kratos walks his prophesized destiny as the savior of the Titans and as the marked warrior. And then Kratos goes up against the Sisters of Fate, completing the meaning of these 4 symbols. After this, there isn't much around the temple until the Challenge of Hades, where, in the maze, you can find this same portrait in many corners. I couldn't really make much of this portrait other than the fact that there is a minotaur-like creature, and there is someone like a satyr or a man with horns behind him, and they are going up against some soldiers. At first, I thought it is just Pandora's guardian, and those who came in search of Pandora's box. But when I think about the one standing behind him, this looks more like a war, the War of Olympus, where Spartans are down there fighting the creatures as Kratos is climbing Mount Olympus with the Titans, meaning that Pathos Verdes III once again had a vision somehow that there would be Spartans fighting the monsters on Olympus. After this picture, there is again nothing else about the future inside the temple. But there are 2 pictures of the future in the final room of Pandora's temple. Now, you guys already know the warrior fighting Zeus image that says it is an image of the future, which is a direct hint towards God of War 3's ending. But there is actually another image in this same room, which is a direct hint towards God of War 2's ending and God of War 3's beginning. This painting is a bit hard to see in-game, but as you can see here, it looks like people and a mountain, and on top there is Zeus, a very clear depiction of the attack of Titans on Olympus, brought by Kratos there. This leaves behind a bunch of theories for me, Captain Kuba, and other God of War theorists. How did Pathos Verdes III know of all the events that were gonna happen for him to leave them in the temple? How did he know? Was he from the future, or was there something else entirely connected to everything? And if you pay close attention, the temple seems to be built specifically for Kratos, because everything is just related to him. In the end, everything inside the temple is manipulating Kratos to perform the actions depicted in those portraits. There is still a lot to cover about this topic, and we might do it some other day. Or maybe we will let Captain Kuba have a piece of this cake. Before we end the video, a special thanks to Streak Gaming for providing me with all these textures to make this video possible. If you are interested in God of War mods, then you can check out his channel's link in the description.